Hello, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't have things quite set up the way that I wanted them to. I am so sorry. Welcome in, Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Big hearts to you, Joey and Keith. Chris Dye, Paul Engel, Angela. Angela. Wait, there. Okay, there's Angela. Hello, hello, hello. All right, we got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. Um, as you know, over the course of the last week or so, actually, last give or take 3 weeks, there's been a lot of really, really bad weather out there. Hey, Jonathan, welcome in. And I thought I'd give you guys an update on what has gone on here. We've had massive snow, we've had tornadoes, flooding, really bad winds. And it's been nonstop since about March 23rd. Everybody can blame me for that because, well, March 23rd is my birthday, so everybody can blame me for the bad weather. I get blamed anyway, so what the hey, right? Over the course of the last few months, however, over in California, they have been suffering hardcore. Matter of fact, in one area of California, they had gotten so far, as of this morning, 74 feet of snow. 74 feet. Hello. My concern with that is that's all up in the mountains. And what happens when snow melts? Gravity takes in and it all has to go somewhere. If you're down in the valley areas, you're going to get flooded. There's just no way around it at all. It's crazy. Yeah. Feet. Crazy. I can't even fathom 74 feet. Houses are like 2-story houses are completely buried in snow. I've seen a couple of reports come out of that area where they dug out their vehicle. Okay. Yeah. They dug out their vehicle and they had to climb a ladder just to get like over the snowbanks. And then they had to make themselves a path through the snow to get to their house, where they actually had to use ladders to get back down the snowbank to even get in their front door. It's it's crazy over there in California. I'm glad I don't live there. We didn't get much snow here. I mean, we did get, I'd say, maybe for the whole winter season, we got maybe a total of, I'm just guessing, like maybe a foot. But it was not all in one shot. It was over a course of weeks, months, days. We didn't. Our winter was weird. There's some parts of the United States that normally get snow in the winter. They got none. None whatsoever. It was crazy. But enough of the snow. I don't like to talk about it because it's too cold and I don't like winter. What's been happening since March 23rd? Well, we've had a couple of different tornado outbreaks, and these are bad tornado outbreaks, guys. Bad. The first one was between March 23rd through the 27th. There was a total of 31 tornadoes, all occurring through Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, Tennessee, Texas. There was 22 fatalities and 31 injuries. This particular storm brought out, I think we had 6 tornado emergencies that night, if I recall. There was quite a bit of tornado emergencies, and I literally sat here watching my radar and watched towns get destroyed by a tornado. And I'll get to that information in just a second. There were 80,000 customers without power that day. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. Chris, Addie Family Adventures. Great guy. There was 80,000 without power. Believe it or not, the largest hail that came out of these storms was out of Burnett, Texas, at 2.75 inches. They had, let's see, with the 31 tornadoes, they had one EF4 that happened. Huh, I didn't write that one down. My bad. It was at 170 mile per hour wind, 59.41 miles long, so 59, about 50, 60 miles long. It was 1,320 yards wide. That was a big puppy. It was on the ground for a total of 71 minutes. 71 minutes. That was actually, I think that was the Rolling Springs tornado. That's where that was. Rolling Springs. Now that I just remembered that. Rolling Springs, Mississippi. I'm sorry, not Rolling Springs, Rolling Fork. Sorry, my bad. You know, they're probably wondering, where in God's creation is that? Well, it's near the border of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. If y'all know, let's see. I cannot find it. Oh, there it is. I think what's the biggest city near there? Jackson, Mississippi. It's northwest of there. Yeah. It was 1,320 yards wide. I can't even wrap my head around that. They had 3 EF3s, 5 EF2s, 18 EF1, and 4 EF0. I was stuck in a locker room at work for a half hour Wednesday because of tornado. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's nuts. So that was basically what happened there. I literally watched these tornadoes on the radar take out multiple towns. It went through Rolling Fork, it went through Silver City, Chula, and I think it finally wound down once it got over towards like Vernon, Mississippi. I'm sorry, Alabama. I don't even know my states anymore. Good gravy. It's one of those days. Holy crap. Like Vernon, Alabama, Double Springs, Coleman, Jasper, is where it finally stopped and dissipated. So there's that outbreak. Then on March 31st, we have another outbreak. And this one hit just a little too close to my home. Oh, boy. There were, on that day, March 31st through April 1st, there was 126 tornadoes. 126. 20 of those were in my state alone. 20. Unfortunately, there was 27 fatalities, 126 injuries. The largest hail from that storm was out of Beverly, Illinois at 3.5 inches. Grapefruit size. Grapefruit size. Yeah, it was bad that night. That Friday night, it was bad. Which is why I didn't do a show. I was going to do a show, but, well, Mother Nature said, no, you're not. This outbreak affected the Midwestern, Southern, and Eastern states. It just went on and on and on and on. There were 766,000 people without power that night. I'm one of them. Lost power for about 4 hours. Okay. And this is the reason why. There was an EF4 that night. An EF4 tornado. 172 mile an hour wind. 42.86 miles long. 600 yards wide. And that was only about 65 miles to myself. 65 miles to myself. There was a vehicle that was tossed over 1,000 feet. A vehicle was tossed 1,000 feet. There was one EF4, 10 EF3s, 32 EF2s. One of those was 10 miles from my house. 39 EF1s, 39 EF0s, and 5 EFU. You're probably wondering, what in God's creation is EFU? Let me back up and explain that one. EFU is basically a tornado tornado rating they give to a storm that is very brief. It's only on the ground for seconds. It just kind of appears, touches the ground, says hello, and poof, gone. There was 5 of those. But there was the EF2, one of the EF2s was about 10 minutes from my house. And let's see if I can't. I don't know if this will show up very well, so I'm going to do my best. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. I'm going to try to share this real quick. Give me a second. Break it up. Okay. Let me make this big. All right. Here's my city. Okay. Right here is my city. I don't know if you can see my. There we go. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving, but here's my city. And right down here. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get up there. Right down here was a tornado. Let me do something else here too. I have another way that I can show you guys. It might be a little easier to figure out. Give me 1 second. It's going to go dark for a minute. All right, there we go. Oh. let me tell you something funny about that night. Excuse me. While I work on this real quick, let me tell you something funny about that night. My brother and his family all came over that night. They live in a mobile home. I live in a sticks and bricks. And I invited them to come and hang out here because the weather was bad. It's a good thing I did because they lived right in the path. They live right in the path of where that EF2 tornado was. I have never seen the sky go as green that night as it did. I mean, y'all heard of storms? Or, okay, y'all have seen the movie Twister, I'm sure. And in this storm, oops, I didn't want to do that. It went literally. Y'all seen movie Twister, where they're at that car, the car repair and the restaurant across the street, and you hear the Bill Paxton's character talking with oh my god, I can't remember his name right now. Dusty was the other guy's character's name. And Dusty goes, "What do we got, boss?" And Bill Paxton goes, "Going green." And he goes, "We got greenage." They weren't kidding that day. When they say that storms are going green, run. Because this was the scariest thing I have seen in a long time. I'm trying to get it to pull up, so bear with me. Because it's being a turkey and not wanting to load. There we go. Work with me here, computer. Do what I'm telling you to do, not what you want to do. Thank you. Do that. All right. Now that I got my computer to cooperate with me, hang on. It'll load it up over here. This is what the skies looked like that night. I'll be quiet. Ready for this, guys? Look at that. Look how green that is. That's what the skies look like around here. Now, what's funny about this is we're all sitting here. They came over about an hour, hour and a half before it started and before things really ramped up. We're all sitting out on my back deck, eating pizza, drinking Fireball, just having a good old time, enjoying nice weather because it was warm out that day and it was sunny. Exactly. It was sunny that day, so we were outside enjoying the nice weather. I took a 30-second video. I'm like, this is how we do it. This is how we chase storms in Iowa. I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, looking it through my phone, had my camera up. I pointed at the pizza, pointed at the bottles of Fireball, showed my friends, and I says, that's how we do it while waiting for the storm. And I panned up to where the storm front was because we could see it. And it was like a 30-second video, and I hit stop. Guess what happened as soon as I hit end and stop recording? The tornado sirens go off. Like, couldn't it have gone off maybe 10 seconds sooner so it could have fit in my video? No. I'm like, just was not in the cards that day. So as we're sitting there eating the pizza, drinking the Fireballs, just, hooping it up, having a good time, all of a sudden we see debris coming down. We saw shingles that were literally circling around and like helicoptering down. And I'm like, looking around, go, okay, don't know what that's from. Then we're seeing crop debris. Like after they plowed the fields, you have all the corn stalks and whatnot and all this other crap that's laying around in the fields. That was falling. I'm like, okay. And mind you, a couple years ago, we had a really bad storm here. We had derecho, and it took out all the trees. I don't have a tree in my backyard. There's no trees around my house right now that even fit the leaves that were falling. They were a maple leaf. I don't have maple trees. I don't have a maple tree. Maybe Jonathan was throwing me his maple leaves. I don't know. But they were falling out of nowhere. And I looked at my buddy and I go, dude, something just got wiped out. Something, somewhere. Well, EF3, about give or take a few 250 miles away. EF3. We're getting the debris over here. It carried it that far and it dropped it in my neighborhood. 250 miles away. And it's throwing debris at me. What? That's not unheard of. There was, as a matter of fact, in that Rolling Fork tornado that was the EF4, there was a personal check that was picked up. Hey, no worries, Paul. We'll catch up later. Thanks for coming in. Exactly. Exactly, Lisa. I gotta go, Julia. We got cows. Um, Favorite line of that movie right there. But in the Rolling Fork tornado, there was a personal check that was picked up by the tornado in Rolling Fork, and they found it over 133 miles away. 133 miles. So the debris coming from 250 miles away doesn't surprise me. But that was the first time I've ever seen debris falling in my yard. It was just a little creepy. Just a little bit. But everything turned out fine. Everybody here was safe. That's why I had them come over here, because of that. I didn't want them being in their trailer while all these tornadoes were going on. That storm didn't bother me as much as the derecho did, but the derecho was not a tornadic event. It was more of a straight line wind event. And they actually classified that, or not classified, but they compared it to that of a category 4 hurricane. So my friends from the south, from down in Florida, you've been through many hurricanes. Some of you have been through the category 4s. You know what it's like. That's what that storm was for us, and it scared the crap out of me. That was the first time I've ever ran to my basement in fear. Um, would I do it again? Hell yes, I would do it again. um, it just made me, that storm right there, the derecho storm, made me love weather even more because it directly affected me. That was the first time I'd ever been in a derecho. First time I've ever had a storm scare the living pants off of me. And what's funny about that storm is when it went through, when it got to like the I-35 corridor, I-35 goes from Minnesota all the way down to Texas. It kind of splits my state in half. When it got to that point, it was only doing like 80 miles an hour with the winds. So I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't think it was gonna, I'm like 80-mile-an-hour winds. That's child's play to me. The thing is that from there to where I live, there's nothing there to stop it. Nothing that could have stopped it. So as it came across, there was nothing to slow it down. No buildings, no towns, no anything, but energy. When it got here, it was pushing out 154-mile-an-hour winds, straight winds. Tornadic storms rotate. Okay. And you could have little itty bitty tornadoes, which we call rope tornadoes, or you can have really wide tornadoes, which we call wedges. Okay, they're literally like this. They're shaped like a wedge. Those ones are more destructive if they're wedge type, because the problem with those is they can also get rain wrapped and they're harder to see. Derechos, you don't get any warning on those puppies. They just kind of go. in and out. But this one, I was on the phone with a friend of mine. He actually called me from Wisconsin and he goes, "Hey, you got a really, really bad storm coming at you." I'm like, "It's only pushing 80, 90 miles an hour. Not a big deal. I can handle that." And he's like, "Look again." So I pulled it up again on my radar and I went, "Okay, this one's going to hurt." So I quickly get off the phone with him. Pardon me a minute. I get off the phone with him. I call my mom and dad. I called my brother and his wife. I called my sister in law's mom. I called a couple of other friends of the family and I go, "Duck now. Get in your shelters." This particular storm, I was standing by my back. I wasn't on the deck, but I was standing by the back door. And I could literally feel the window, the glass of the sliding glass door. I could feel it bowing, and it was bowing inward. I'm like, okay. Just then, there goes my tree. There goes my power. There goes my internet. There goes my gazebo. My gazebo ended up 3 houses down. Oops. The guy that lives next door to me, believe it or not, some of his siding on the west side of the house came off. Literally came off. And was sitting in my yard. The tree in my front yard, the evergreen broke in half. Thank God that stayed more towards the street. But my oak tree out front, the trunk split. The trunk kind of split, and part of it stayed, and part of it went across my driveway, the ramp out front of the house, and partly into my neighbor's yard because it's a pretty big oak tree. And I could not get out of my house for a week. I could not go anywhere. I couldn't go in the backyard, couldn't go in the front. I couldn't go anywhere. Hey, Dave, welcome in. The reason I'm telling you guys this story is because of this. When there are storms out there and they put your area under a thunderstorm watch, tornado watch, severe weather watch, take those to heart, man. Because you never know when one of those storms is going to come and just turn your world upside down. Like, look at today, for example. Okay. Today's a good example of what's going on and why I say be mindful of the weather that's happening. I'm sure that y'all know that the Masters golf is going on right now. They had to suspend play. There is so much wind going on where the Masters is being played. Several trees came down. Several trees at the golf course came down. Luckily, nobody was injured. Nobody died. Thank you, God. But it's just because the wind in that area is really strong right now, and they've also been saturated with rain lately. So with the high winds, weak roots right now, It was bound to happen. See, yep, that's the other thing that can happen, Chris. Exactly. You can get uh, trampolines that could end up down the street. Um, yep, chase the trash cans. Yep. Um, honestly, Lisa, no. Tornadoes, okay, I shouldn't say no. They kind of are. Because tornadoes during the day, you can actually see them. You can see where they're going. Tornadoes at night, they're harder to see. And unless there's lightning going on, yeah, exactly. It's exactly, Angela, exactly. Um, in all honesty, Lisa, tornadoes don't scare me. Hurricanes are what scares me. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Hurricanes, okay, let me back up. Tornadoes, they come, they do their thing, poof, gone. Okay? Poof, gone. At most, you're going to deal with a tornado for 10, 15 minutes at your location as it passes through. Hurricanes, you have multiple factors going on. Hey, Jeff Condon, welcome in. You have multiple things going on. You have the front of the storm and what's happening there. Then you have the quietness of the eye of the hurricane. And then you have the backside of it. So you have the storm, the front part of the storm. Then you have the quietness of the eye. And then you have the back of the storm. The back side of that storm, the west side of that hurricane, is the worst side. It's always the worst side. So with that, you may get hit with rain, wind, hail, lightning, all in that front half of the storm. But in the back half of the storm, after the eye has come through, you could have all of the same from the front, but there could also be tornadoes in there. And those, hurricanes they look teeny tiny on the radar and what they show you on TV. They're only showing you like a blip that looks like this big on the radar, right? No. Like Hurricane Ian, for example, back in September, which is why I am not allowed in Florida anymore because I was there in September and, well, Hurricane Ian struck. And speaking of Hurricane Ian, at the time that the hurricane hit, they claimed it was a Category 4. Nope. Guess what? New findings, new study, or more study to that. It was a Category 5. Yes, yes, sir. They have dubbed it a Category 5. Right before it made landfall, it did reach Category 5 levels for their wind. And I will be discussing hurricanes at a later date. My buddy RJ could not make it tonight because he's a little under the weather. So I didn't want to bug him and bring him in. I know you're out there, RJ. Love and hugs to you, bro. Hope you get better. Hope you feel better soon. With that, like with the Hurricane Ian, it covered miles. And it was down in, it made landfall in Fort Myers, Sanibel Island area. Parts of Naples and Punta Gorda in that area. But they were feeling the effects of it way up in Jacksonville. I was in Gainesville at the time with my family. 7 adults, 3 dogs, hunkering down in a hotel. No. I was doing my best to keep my family safe. I could have cared less about the hurricane, in all honesty. Gonzo, oh my God, hey, buddy. Much love to you. Love Gonzo. Great guy. Check him out if you haven't. It's Joey's World. Check him out. You know what? Everybody that's in here, check him out. They're great people. I actually, okay, I gotta stop for a minute because this this means a lot to me right now that Gonzo has come in here. It really means a lot to me. I believe this is the first time he's been on my channel. And Gonzo is a great guy. That I cannot, I can't express how much Gonzo means to me right now. I hope everything is going okay in your neck of the world there, Gonzo. We'll have to get together and talk someday. Just sit down and chit chat. But we are, Gonzo. We are, and it really means a lot that you showed up today. Thank you. Huh? Okay, sorry. Getting distracted by weather scenarios here. Right now, I'm going to say this that right now everybody's in the clear. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings out. There are no tornado warnings, no flood warnings. The only thing we have, I believe, where's this? Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's got a few storms happening out there by them. They're all offshore, so it's all good. And if you're wondering how I know that, well, because I can see it on the radar. This here is Puerto Rico. We got a little bit of a weather pattern up here. Then we got this whole mess down here. If you're wondering what program this is, it is called GR Level 3. That's GR Level 3. It is an $80 program. You can go to grlevelx.com. Shut up, Jonathan. Um, this is what I do all day, guys. About to get storms here. All right, let's go take a quick peek. Why? Because I can. Yup. All right. There's some stuff here. This is around the villages and Ocala. We got a little bit back here by Orlando. Windermere. Yeah, Windermere's getting a little rain. Bay Hill. Might be a little bit of a rain up here by Altamont Springs. What do we got up here? Yeah. Nothing really to worry about. I mean, that's actually nothing. That's really nothing. Just light stuff. Hey, you want to settle down? Thank you. Sorry, my dog is going crazy right now. Don't know why. Are you bored? I guess he's bored. Not on this particular one. No, I cannot. What you looking for? You looking like from earlier today? Because oh, okay, yes, those were crazy storms this morning. Let me look and see here. Come back in here. Let me see if I can't pull something up from this morning. I have other ways of looking up this information that we're looking for. So you say from like 10 hours ago? Oh, for those of you that live down in Tampa, be careful. There's a lot of, they're saying high risk for respiratory irritation due to red tide over the next 36 hours. That and rip currents. That's another one. Dogs are loving storms. Aha, here we go. All right. Nope, that's not it. I thought that was the right one. Nope. I know which storm you're talking about, Gonzo. I'm looking here. Let's go this way. Scrolling. Keep them doggies scrolling. Scrolling. Come on. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna be scrolling all flippin' day. I know what you're talking about. It's just going to take me a minute to find it here. Bear with me. Come on, Slowpoke. There we go. Now we're getting there. Wow. Okay. Well, that'd be scary. Okay. This is not something you want to see coming at your house. Is oh, that guy. Look at that. Look at that storm. That is not something you want to see coming at your house. That was in Virginia. That was in Virginia about 10 hours ago. That's crazy. That's something you don't want to see. Come on. That was in Amelia County, Virginia. Not 100% sure where that's at. Just it just says Amelia County. That actually wasn't a tornado. That is what we call the whale's mouth with rear flanking downdraft. So let me pull that back up and I'll explain. All right. This area here is like it would look almost like a shelf cloud, if you've all seen a shelf cloud. But we call it the whale's mouth. The rear flanking downdraft is what this dark green is behind it. See how it looks dark green back there? So that means that storm is packing quite a bit of a punch. So that's something that could have been dangerous if it decided to go tornadic, but it did not, from what I'm seeing here. That's Kentucky. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to sift through all this information. There are so many reports, Gonzo, I can't even scroll back that far in this program. I'm going to have to look at it from behind the scenes and see if I can't find some more information about it. If I need to, I'll pull up a whole nother stream just for that. But I heard that, yes, this morning was pretty interesting. Okay. I'm gonna. Here's what I have to say about the Weather Channel. Okay, and I apologize for this one, guys. The Weather Channel is about as useless as teats on a bowl. Honestly, they are worthless. They stopped. Aw, love you too, Gonzo. Thanks for stopping by. The Weather Channel used to be great. Okay, don't get me wrong. They used to be phenomenal at what they did. Okay? But they got caught lying. Lying. They have a video out there. Okay? They have a video out there of one of their correspondents standing on a street corner fighting to stand up in supposed hurricane force wind. All of a sudden, in this video, you see two young kids, 18, 19 years old, somewhere around there, that go walking by in shorts as if nothing's happening. And this guy's like, oh my God, I can't stand here, holding onto a pole. I can't stand up due to these winds. Oh my goodness, blah, 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 blah. Wrong. Like, come on, people. If you're going to show a video of your meteorologist out there, make sure that nobody's going to be walking by you. I mean, these two young kids, 18, 19 years old, go walking behind him. Their pants weren't even flapping in the wind. Their jackets weren't even flapping in the wind. There wasn't even any rain happening. The ground was dry. And this Weather Channel guy is saying, oh my God, this wind is rising. Well, yeah, you're going to have a hard time standing when you're on a hill. You're on a grassy hill that's uneven anyway. So, like, exactly, Lisa, exactly. I mean, after that, I'm like, okay, I've lost respect for these guys. But then the most horrific thing happened. Down in Kansas, I believe it was, or was it Texas? I forget exactly where it was, or maybe they were, I don't know, they were in either Kansas, Oklahoma, or Texas, somewhere. 3 chasers drastically lost their life. 3 chasers drastically lost their lives. 2 of them worked for the Weather Channel, who gave total disregard to public safety. They ran stop signs, stoplights, swerved in and out of vehicles live on video, had no regard for public safety at all. And they were going this way. They were going kind of on an east-west road, and a few feet in front of them was a highway, and the highway had the right of way. These guys were like on a side road, and total disregard for the stop signs and whatnot. And bam, they T-boned this other car. Sorry about that. T-boned the other car, killed all three of them instantly. Now, what really gets me is that the guy that was driving the vehicle that was at fault normally did not drive. We don't know why he was behind the wheel that day. We have no idea why he was behind the wheel that day. Normally his partner drove, but for some reason he got behind the wheel, and that was it. That was the end of it. During that time, the entire weather community went dark. We all went dark. And what I mean by dark, going dark, we all communicate right here. There is a program on here. It's called Zello. It's Zello. You can get it for your phone, Android and or iPhone. Just go to your Play Store. Type in Zello, and you'll have to sign up for an account. It's free. Doesn't cost anything to use, and you can communicate with your friends without having to actually physically sit there and hold your phone all day. I use it when I'm traveling, to communicate with other people, saying, okay, this is where I'm at. What's the weather like? What's looking like ahead of me. Also, I have a way that people can track my location as well. It's a great program. It's a push to talk, walkie-talkie type program. Oh, sorry. Got an air pocket in my belly. But we stopped using this. Everybody turned that program off. So, and we kind of went into our private chats at that time, trying to figure out what's going on. The Weather Channel also went dark. Like on the Weather Channel right now, they do the weather on the 8s. So 8 after, 18 after, 28, 38, you get the drill. They literally played that over and over for about 3 hours while they were trying to figure out what was going on and wrap their heads around what was going on. They spoke nothing of it. But beforehand, they're their usual self. They're chit-chatting, carrying on with each other, talking about the weather. But when they came back from that commercial or their break, they were very somber. Very somber. Next tornado outbreak, guess what? They didn't cover it. They did not cover the tornado outbreak. That particular tornado outbreak that they did not cover had tornado emergencies. It had towns getting wiped out from tornadoes. EF4s, EF3s were causing damage, causing havoc all over the place. Instead, the Weather Channel, what did they do? They played their show Highway to Hell, or Through Hell, or whatever that show is, instead of covering the tornadoes. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You have all these storms happening and you guys aren't covering it? Are you kidding me right now? So we lost our respect from them. A good Weather Channel, I don't know if not a lot of TV companies cover it. The channel out there, it's called Weather Nation. Weather Nation is way better than Weather Channel, let me tell you. I would prefer to get my weather information from the Weather Nation than I would the Weather Channel. Forgive me, my allergies are acting up big time. So when it comes to the Weather Channel, we just don't even. I listen to them about as far as I can throw them. I get better, in all honesty, I get better weather information from the National Weather Service itself. And I know I've showed you guys that particular page before, and I'll show it to you again here. It's the here. Let me grab the address for y'all. There we go. This is called the Storm Prediction Center, or SPC. This is where I get all the information that I provide. Put the link there in the chat. It's where I get all the information, because as you see here on this screen, this shows you kind of what's going on. It's NOAA. It's NOAA and part of the National Weather Service. They use this for everything. But on this particular page, that looks funky. You've got all this that shows. It'll show you kind of what's going on if you don't have a radar. Oop, I didn't mean to click that. If you don't want to see what the radar is, and this is what I show you guys, is this page, which is the convective outlook. You have your watches, storm reports, your fire weather, your hazards map. Also, you can go up to the top where it says NWS NCEP. Oop. Hold your mouse over it. Go down to National Hurricane Center, and boom, there's your information. It'll tell you everything that's going on here. Eastern Pacific. Central Pacific's not doing anything because they are just boring right now. But that's where I go to get all the information when I'm giving it to you guys. Like, let me click on the hazards map here. And just for kicks There we go. God, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. Accidentally muted the mic. My bad. I apologize. All right, let me back up. This is for the Disney parks. I'm sorry about that, guys. Jesse tries to speak. Take 2. All right. This is for the Disney parks because most everybody here is Disney people. We're looking at fair skies, 79 degrees, 81 degrees with humidity, with heat index. Humidity's at 67. Winds are out of the east at 16, gusting to 21. You guys are looking at a possible 20% chance of storms tonight before 11 p.m. After that, a low of around 68. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10. Yeah, Disney, what's that? Squirrel. Tomorrow. Ugh. Tomorrow you're looking at mostly sunny skies with a high near 89 with a southwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night through Tuesday, not looking good, folks. Actually, I apologize. All of next week, if you guys are going to go to the parks, I suggest umbrellas and raincoats. Saturday night, you're looking at 30% chance of rain. Sunday, you're looking at showers likely with a possible thunderstorm. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 80, with gusts as high as 20. Winds north 5 to 15, and you're looking at 60% chance of rain. All right, Dave, have a good one, buddy. Sunday night, you're looking at 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, low around 66. There's rain chances every day between 30% chance and 50% chance. So, yeah, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's going to be a little wet. All right, guys. I need to go and rest my voice because I'm having a hard time keeping my voice active right now. I need to go and grab some ice water, get my voice up. Need to take some medication to help my voice as well. I've already been on way longer than I planned to tonight. But before I go, if anyone has any questions, anything else, feel free to ask. If you if you would like weather reports for your area, well, guess what? I got that covered. Maybe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? There it is.
For all your weather needs, look to Weather or Not with Jesse on Instagram. Daily weather reports, watches, warnings, storm photos, and more. Jesse covers them all. If you would like a weather report for your area, contact Jesse today on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email.
All right, and a huge shout out to Samuel B over at the Samuel B Experience for helping me with that video and helping me create it. I'm trying, Melissa. I'm going to be doing I'm in talks right now with a friend of mine who is a professional dog trainer. And we're working out doing a show together. She's going to come in, and we're thinking about maybe having her coming in once or twice a month and talk with y'all. She is a dog trainer. Her husband is a vet. And she's trying to talk him into coming on because I know people have been asking for pet training and whatnot type videos. I'm also working on a couple of other interviews that I'm gonna do here in the future. I'm gonna kind of change things up on my channel a little bit. I want to get a little bit more active if I can. So bear with me as I kind of work through these things. And huge thank you to Jonathan, Lisa from It's Joey's World, Space Mountain Dave, Angela Minta, Chris Dye, Jeannie, Jonathan Chung, excuse me, Adventures of Gonzo, Addie Family Adventures was in here earlier. Paul Engel was in here earlier. I know where he's at. I think I covered everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I don't think I did. But with that, I'm going to go and rest my voice for a little while. Don't forget, in just a little bit, Tina Marie over at Tina Marie's Place will be going live in about a half an hour with her show Farmer Bangs a Wife. I mean, Wants a Wife. Episode 5. Then Pete McDevitt from the Pete McDevitt Show will be on at 10 with his usual Friday night show. Be sure to check him out. Don't need to put the links in because everybody knows the links for everybody. But yeah, big hugs to everybody. Love y'all. And we will see you next time. Where'd my thingy go? I don't know where my thing went. My bad.